These episodes sparked quite the backlash. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 controversial TV episodes. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the episodes of television that prompted a public outcry, were censored, or otherwise stirred up heated discussion. We will not be including season finales or animated episodes, however, as those have lists of their own.
Shall we?
Number 10. Honey, Degrassi.
Sorry to keep you waiting. She's lucky to be alive.
She is.
While this teen drama has never shied away from controversial or taboo topics, one of its most contentious moments was this season 13 episode, which featured the death of fan-favorite character Adam Torres. Drawing on modern issues, Adam dies after an accident caused by texting and driving. The death of a beloved character is often a sad and anger-invoking event for many fans, but being the first transgender character on the show, Adam's death was a particularly rough blow for Degrassi viewers.
Open your eyes now, open your eyes now, it's time to leave.
Number 9. I'll See You in Court, Married with Children.
Hey, I told you we should never have sex! Now everybody's gonna know!
It was a series notorious for being more racy than its contemporaries, but this episode is perhaps its most controversial, in large part due to censoring by the network. I'll See You in Court sees Al and Peggy attempt to spice up their sex life by trying it somewhere new, only to end up being filmed without their consent, which leads them to seek compensation for the violation of their privacy.
You can't do this to Al! Remove this woman! He'll lose what little confidence he already has!
Going unaired for years on US television, the episode gained a reputation as the lost episode. Upon viewing it, however, more recent critics have found it fairly vanilla. Chalk this one up to overzealous censors.
If we had been on tape, we would have made $1 million.
Number 8. 13. The 100.
How dare you bring this to me on Ascension Day?
Killing off a character who exemplifies an underrepresented demographic can often result in a public outcry, and the death of Lexa, one of the few gay characters on The 100, was another case of this. Fans were particularly upset since axing gay characters is common enough to be a rather morbid trope. The writing staff of The 100 has apologized for their handling of the death since the episode aired, though, saying that they would have done things differently in hindsight. On a happier note, over $170,000 was raised by fans to support LGBTQ teens in need after the episode aired.
The next commander will protect you.
Number 7. On All Fours, Girls.
Get on all fours.
Girls has generated plenty of controversy and discomfort for its audience, but this episode took the series' signature cringe comedy and cranked the squirm level up to 11. While the majority of On All Fours drew criticism for being one of the darkest outings in the show to that point, with extremely uncomfortable storylines for many of the cast, the epitome of the tone shift came in the titular sex scene, which featured rough, humiliating sex that some viewers felt bordered on rape.
No, not my dress.
While HBO in general is noted for featuring programs that delve into the darker side of sex, many viewers apparently felt shocked to witness something quite so extreme on what is primarily a comedy.
I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over me.
Number 6. Earshot, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
If we could just get rid of all the students.
Buffy and the rest of the Scooby Gang dealt with many supernatural threats during their adventures, but one of their most talked about episodes dealt with a problem that hit closer to home. An accident with a demon's blood allows Buffy to hear the thoughts of others, which leads her to uncover a potential school shooting.
Listen, there's a killer in the cafeteria.
The subject is always extremely sensitive in America, but Earshot was initially set to air shortly after the Columbine massacre. Despite the fact that the episode's shooter only intended suicide and that the airing was delayed until nearly the next season, it still drew complaints.
I wouldn't ever hurt anybody. I came up here to kill myself.
Number 5. Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. Game of Thrones.
This is my home, and you can't frighten me.
Controversy has been woven into Game of Thrones since day one, but this episode ignited one of its biggest public outcries, primarily for one scene. Despite the fact that the show infamously kills off fan-favorite characters, it was the rape of Sansa Stark by her sadistic new husband Ramsay Bolton that had fans and critics outraged. Many found the scene gratuitous, even with the show's history of depicting non-consensual sex. In addition, fans of the books objected to the scene, as the rape and even Sansa's marriage to Ramsay originally happened to an entirely different character. In their view, this change derailed her story arc and prior character development. Number 4. Maude's Dilemma. Maude.
Vivian, I'm pregnant.
Given that it was a spin-off of the always confrontational All in the Family, Maude was destined to deal with hot-button issues, and this two-parter went right for the jugular, as few things inspire as much debate as abortion. Made following the practice's legalization in New York in real life, Maude, a middle-aged woman, finds herself pregnant and decides to have the procedure.
I think it would be wrong to have a child at our age. Oh, so do I, Walter. Oh, Walter, so do I.
Although the initial broadcasts drew little attention, that changed when it was rerun after the landmark Roe v. Wade Supreme Court verdict. This time, it drew huge viewing figures, thanks in part to the publicity unintentionally generated by protesters.
Oh, Walter, hold me closer.
Number 3. Home, The X-Files.
Now, we all have a natural instinct to propagate.
Do we?
The truth is out there, and it still gives viewers the creeps, in part thanks to episodes like Home. Set up like a slasher horror movie, this episode saw Mulder and Scully investigating a murderous family so monstrous, they make the Fluke Man look cuddly. The violence and subject matter, which included rape, incest, and child murder, were so graphic that it's the only episode during the series' run to receive a TVMA rating, and the only one never rebroadcast on Fox. Despite the controversy, Home earned extensive critical acclaim and is typically considered one of the series' finest episodes. Number 2. The puppy episode, Ellen.
Ellen, are you coming out or not?
Yep, it's that episode. Lead character Ellen Morgan realizes she's gay and opens up about it to others in the course of this two-parter. In a case of art mirroring life, Ellen DeGeneres came out of the closet nearly simultaneously with her character.
Susan, I'm gay.
Although not out of the norm today, this was groundbreaking in 1997. The episode was the subject of backlash even before it aired, with sponsors pulling support, right-wing groups expressing outrage, and the studio even receiving a bomb threat.
What is that, gay humor? Because I don't get it. That's how ungay I am.
Its legacy is much more uplifting, however, as Ellen's coming out episode was a hugely seminal moment in advancing gay representation on television.
It was the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life, and I would not change one moment of it because it led me to be exactly where I am today, standing in front of all of you.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I got a short fuse, so don't strike matches. I grew up in Honolulu.
They certainly weren't people who were building bombs for a war the way King Friday thought they were.
Number 1. The Puerto Rican Day, Seinfeld.
No. It's the Puerto Rican Day Parade!
Although the show about nothing tackled some provocative subjects during its run, its most controversial episode was not intentionally provocative. When Jerry and the gang are on their way home from a baseball game, they are caught in traffic due to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. In the course of the story, Kramer accidentally sets a Puerto Rican flag on fire and stomps on it to put it out.
There's a guy burning the Puerto Rican flag! Who is burning the flag?
In addition, the Puerto Ricans depicted in the episode are not shown in a favorable light, and the territory itself is implied to be riot-prone. All of this prompted protests, a formal apology, and the episode being pulled from reruns for several years.
You know, it's like this every day in Puerto Rico. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.